Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Coggins, and Trekyards, the name, the legend, Star Trek, shipyards combined. With that, you may assume that we, the two of us, like starships. You'd be right. So, in this episode of Lower Decks, what did we see as lovers of ships?
People.
This is true. What else did we see as lovers of ships?
Space?
That is true. What else do we see as lovers of ships?
There were no tanks in this episode. Oh, ships! That's what you're getting. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we saw lots of ships. Lots and lots of ships, especially in the opening few minutes when they do the escape from the Cardassian prison facility.
Because the hollow Cardassians, they've clearly been busy. They've stolen some stuff. So let's go through these images I've prepared for us all. Yes, the first image is a very good looking Miranda class. We've talked about it before, as you said. But very accurate, yet a bit different. Very high detailed. I mean, no expense spared sort of thing. Wonderful.
Looks great. We do talk about the Miranda in another episode as well, so if you guys want to check that out. We are the ship guys. That's what we do. Ships. But as it took off, I was surprised to see many other ships. Which at first glance, it's like, I see a lot of shapes that I recognize, but to actually look at them, and some of them were quite surprising, actually.
And yes, okay, this will be one of those scenes where don't think about it too hard, because it's going to start to break down a little bit. It is a fun scene, and all of these things are drawn. It's all made individually. These aren't reusing assets, really. Everything's original here. Although maybe some of these are hinting at later things, because, I'll jump straight into one of them. Having a runabout is a really useful asset to have for later down the show, because there should be dozens, hundreds of those flying around, etc. So here's a shot of it taking off, and then I went and did a silly thing. I said, I've got this archive of things. I'm an archivist for the Trek phenomenon. So I sort of replicated it a little bit with the 3D models from the show. And just show you.
So let's just do a listing of ships that are here. We've got a runabout. We've got a the Peregrine fighter.
Peregrine fighter, yeah.
We got a Bajoran ship.
Bajoran
fighter,
yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a Klingon, what is that, D5?
Part of a D5, yeah.
Yeah. We've also got a Romulan snipe, which is from Starfleet Command the Starfleet Command games, which I was surprised to see, but you got that Romulan snipe shape there, which is awesome.
Like, I recognized it, but I didn't, I knew I didn't know exactly which one it was. So that makes
that's kind of side canon, which was a odd choice. Must be one of their favorite games or something.
And of course, you got a Hideki variant. Now, other people have called out as being a direct Hideki. The reason I've not put a render here is because it isn't a Hideki. It's clearly that same style, but it is more smooth and more organic, and it looks nice. It looks nice throughout. So these are the actual Canon ships we've been put in. Here's a side by side, just to kind of show the matched angles quite effectively. And it's a bit surreal, eh? And to have a D5 as well. Who picked these ships?
Yeah, and 2 Delta Flyers are visible.
There's a couple of Delta Flyers, which, if we go to the next shot, as the thing starts to pan up, and there's the comparison Delta. That's the weirdest one, because while yes, Voyager has appeared home by now, that means Mariners. This is all the holodecks. So she's if it was a real reality, you'd be like, what? Okay, thank goodness it's a holodeck, but Delta Flyers, the custom-made Voyager shuttle variant, which is kick-ass. What?
And don't forget, there's also a Jem'Hadar bug ship.
There is.
A few.
Yes, the first thing they go kablooey on. It's a pretty diverse set.
So lots of ships, which we love seeing. Keep in mind, this is a holodeck program. This is one of Mariner's exercise programs. So the ships are kind of superfluous. They're whatever she wanted it there. But you can imagine that Cardassians, as they captured people or, brought them to this prison facility, would confiscate their ships and store them this way, perhaps. It's kind of a haphazard way of doing it. But
it's terrible.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It was great seeing some of these. And I love that you did the overlays of the actual models on the things. They're very accurate. They're very accurately drawn here. So
yeah. The thing is, though, all these ships except the other one you said, the Romulan one, exist as Eagle Moss, and obviously 3D assets as well. But the artist may just to have got an eagle moss, and so I want to do this angle, and then could use that as a baseline. So it's easier than ever to create reference for these sorts of things. Having done a respective shot of this, I can, however, say that this scene, while taken with that pinch of salt and half serious of it being a holodeck, obviously, clearly the scaling is beyond broken.
But they're stacked, so it's perspective.
They are,
maybe.
but I did perspective to get my shots to work, and I had to upscale a whole lot of stuff, etc., etc. Because Miranda's pretty bigger than a D5, and a Reliant, no, not Reliant, a Predation fighter is tiny, so it's a runabout. Like, I don't think, well, especially this, okay, so if you go picture 2, the bottom left-hand corner, the Predation fighter is smaller than a runabout, okay, maybe not in width, but in height. And for it to be that much bigger on top of it would mean it would have to be closer to camera, but the runabout is in front of camera. That's impossible. And the same with the Bajoran ship above that. That's also not a big ship. That's giant. Like, so the scaling, they've just put them, they've done whatever. But it's fictional within fictional. Like the Delta Flyers, again, they're tiny. They're clearly the scale is completely broken just to make it look filled up. Because if they were all to scale, this room isn't very filled up at all, because almost all the ships are tiny. You know, which might work better if it's escape, but that's clearly not how it's been played in the scene. It's been played with this epic of like we're packed. But yeah, so scale broken, but don't worry about it. I think
at least we got ships that are canon accurate. That's all I really care about. And I'm sure if they were side by side and it was like flying in space, that size would be correctly scaled. So
it's just a bit funny because you're like, the Delta Flyer isn't that big. What?
Maybe it should be, because we know the interior sets don't fit within the actual size of the ship. So.
Oh my god!
There you go. They corrected it. There you go. And like I said, including a ship from Starfleet Command games was amazing. Like, is it canon now? I mean, it was always kind of side canon, I guess, but
Options. I mean, all these things exist, and fans, there are people who love these variable ships, you know, and sometimes, especially the video games, people are going to play with these ships for potentially hours and hours and hours and hours and days. So they exist in their personal universes. So to include these things means we may get, you know, the Franz Joseph stuff, we may get the British Commander games, we may get Hussark, you know. This is great, and when they can build an asset in a lot less time because of the relatively low detail level for an animated, this is what we hope for. You know, you don't need to keep inventing new alien ships. There's this pantheon that CBS owns. Even the JoJo stuff you can include, whatever. It's like one episode they were at Starbase in season 2, and there's an Andorian ship there. Great. And Daedalus, that's a classic TOS version. Great. You know, so as the title suggests, you know, look at all the Canon ships. It was a real treat, and even if it was slightly nonsensical, it was real great. And all credit to them for putting a lot of effort in. And hopefully, this implies we're going to see these other ships at other points, because you've got the models now. More runabout. Maybe Mariner in a runabout, although I'm sure we'll see more flashbacks to her past when she very well could be flying a runabout in classic uniform, etc. So yeah.
And so much potential for a holodeck simulation as well. That's it for now, guys. Let us know if you spotted all these ships, if there's anything we missed. Not likely, but if there is anything we missed, let us know in the comments section. And please participate in the channel by clicking that like button, by subscribing, and by making sure that the bell notification icon is clicked. It's all super important for the algorithm and really helps us out. And that's one of the easiest, best ways to help us out, all those free things. But there are other ways as well.
Well, the direct ways, the free ways are great. We love them. We love them, love them. But this channel is free at the point of enjoyment, and how many videos we do a week is time, energy, effort, whatever. So if you can join our lives during the week and super chat, your comment, your thought, your question, the interactive thing that helps fund the channel, or one-time donation at trekyards@hotmail.com, that is the PayPal, or do the Patreon monthly, or join the channel on YouTube as well. These are all combination ways that with each of these pillars of support we can keep going, as we have done for years now, and hopefully keep going for years, and keep producing fun content like this with cool renders like this, and we want to, so you have to help us out. So in advance, thank you.
That's right. So until next time, guys, and more ships to talk about, or just reviews, or details, or minutia.
This was episode 1, Stuart. Just episode 1.
I know. And we've already got a lot of little bite-sized videos for you guys to check out.
Yep.
So
a lot of ships. It's as if
anyway,
Mike
guys.
would be watching.
Well, we did interview him last year. We got to get him back on.
We do.
Anyway, all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
And I am Conference. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.